We are filming in a new location today and maybe going forward. You'll have to let me know if you like the Monday videos in the office where I can read it off the computer screen instead of like looking down at my tablet the whole time. And this is the side of the house that's closest to the road, and even at 8 on a Saturday it's very busy for some reason. So there will have to be pauses as I wait for loud vehiculars to go by, unfortunately. I don't know, sometimes I feel like I can hear them just as much in the other side of the house, but whatever. If you're new here, hi, I'm Morgan. Thank you for clicking, and we are getting into the new releases of the first week of September the 4th. Yes. So there will be timestamps per genre, and let me know in the comments down below if you like filming in the office versus in front of the bookshelf. First up this week is going to be fantasy, and we have The Funny Business by Kevin J. Anderson. He has written lots of fantasy sagas or science fiction type sagas, fantasy. I think he worked on the continuation of the Dune series, but in this one it is a collection of 20 stories that cover from slapstick to subtle to just short story and grammar humor, because he wanted it to be a funny, humorous book. Like, what happens when a wimpy, henpecked man finds an enchanted loincloth that turns him into a real jungle ape man? Or a stranded alien uses his advanced technology to fool audiences as a stage magician. A frustrated monster movie actor uses a gypsy witch's special makeup to turn into a real werewolf when the cameras start to roll. So it's that sort of thing. It's all like kind of side character stories almost into a short story collection. And it does sound like it might be humorous. Next up is a story from the Star Wars High Republic. It is The Tales of Light and Life by Zordia Cordova, Tessa Gratton, Claudia Gray, Justina Ireland, and Lydia Kang. And this one says it is the epic collection of short stories written by some of our favorite High Republic authors, and it's sure to make the perfect addition to any Star Wars bookshelf, offering readers even more never-before-seen insight into the beloved Star Wars universe. The High Republic authors share unmissable short stories that bridge phases, resolve mysteries, and offer tantalizing hints at what is to come. Rejoin the adventures of the Jedi and the Padawans, the Pathfinders and the Path members, heroes and villains ahead of the launch of Phase 3. So I guess the next phase in the Star Wars novels is coming out. I don't know, I don't follow the novels as much. I love the Star Wars movies, but like, I think I've only tried to read one of the novelizations, and I don't remember how that went. It must not have gone great because I haven't continued. This video is going to be a learning experience for sure, and oh my goodness, the time of day. I wish I had a different time to be able to film it too. But our next one is kind of a historical fantasy with hints of romance. This is number 3 in the Glass Library series by C.J. Archer. It's called The Untitled Books. In the first book, The Librarian of Crooked Lane, that came out last year, like exactly a year ago, librarian Sylvia Ashe knows nothing about her past, having grown up without a father and a mother who refused to discuss him. When she stumbles upon a diary that suggests she's descended from magicians, she's skeptical. After all, magicians are special, and she's just an ordinary woman who loves books. She seeks answers from a member of the most prominent family of magicians, but she quickly learns that finding the truth won't be easy, especially when he turns out to be as artless as her and more compelling and dangerous than books. War hero Gabe is gifted with wealth, a loving family, and an incredible amount of luck that saw him survive for 4 harrowing years of a brutal war without injury. But not all injuries are visible. Burying himself in his work as a consultant for Scotland Yard, Gabe is going through the motions as he investigates the theft of a magician-made painting. But his life changes when he unwittingly gets Sylvia dismissed from her job and places her in danger. After securing her employment in a library housing the world's greatest collection of books about magic, Gabe and Sylvia's lives become entwined as they work together to find both the painting and the truth about Sylvia's past before powerful people can stop them. But sometimes the past is better left buried. I never read the description for the first one before. I found the third one's description and I was like, oh, this is interesting. So okay, that was kind of funny. He gets her fired and he gets her another job at a bookshelf. Last for fantasy is kind of a dark alternative realities fantasy. This is All the Dead Shall Weep by Charlene Harris. It's actually book 5 in the Gunny Rose series that starts with an easy death. And I have not read anything by her since True Blood series. And the end of that was just kind of, I don't know, maybe she was tired of writing it. She wanted to go on to these other series. I don't know. But the end of it, I didn't like it as much. It didn't, I think a lot of us felt like that. So I haven't read anything else by her. But this one actually does sound interesting. So there's maybe. In the first book, An Easy Death, it says, in a fractured United States, a new world where magic is acknowledged but mistrusted, a young gunslinger named Lisbeth Rose takes a job offer from a pair of Russian wizards. Lisbeth Rose has a wildly fearsome reputation, but these wizards are desperate. Searching the small border towns near Mexico, they're trying to locate a low-level magic practitioner believed to be the direct descendant of Grigory Rasputin. Got it. And then as the trio travel through alternate America, shattered into several countries after the assassination of Franklin Roosevelt and the Great Depression, they are set on by enemies. It's clear that a powerful force does not want them to succeed in their mission. Lisbeth Rose has never failed a client, but this job may stretch her to deadly limits. Okay. Yep, those words got tiny. Okay, so, I don't know. It sounds like a maybe. Moving on into YA, we have a mystery this week called Suddenly a Murder by Lauren Minoz. Someone brought a knife to the party. To celebrate the end of high school, Izzy Morales joins her ride-or-die Cassidy and 5 friends on a 1920s themed getaway at the glamorous Ashwood Manor. There, Izzy and her friends party in vintage dresses and expensive diamonds, until Cassidy's boyfriend turns up dead. Murdered, investigators declare when they arrive at the scene, and now every party guest is a suspect. There's the girlfriend in love, the other girl in despair, the old friends forlorn, the new friend distressed, the brooding enigma, and then there's Izzy, the girl who brought the knife. To find the killer, everyone must undergo a grueling interrogation, all while locked in an estate where, suddenly, the greatest luxury is innocence. Moving into romance, we have Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. This one is book 3 in the Knockmount series. They're only loosely related, though. They all take place in the same town, but each book follows a different couple. So it's one of those interconnected, almost. I don't even know if interconnected is the right word, but this one, this one says, there was only one woman who could set me free, but I would rather set myself on fire than ask Sloane Walton for anything. So see, that's a rather intense starting. Lucian Rollins is a lean, mean, vengeance-seeking mogul. On a quest to erase his abusive father's mark on the family name, he spends every waking minute pulling strings and building his empire. The more money and power he gains, the safer he feels. Except when it comes to one feisty small-town librarian. Oh, she's a librarian. Bonded by an old dark secret from the past and the current mutual disdain, Sloane Wilson trusts Lucian about as far as she can throw his designer-suited body. When bickering accidentally turns into foreplay, the flames are fanned, and it's impossible to put them out again. But with Sloane more than ready to start a family and Lucian refusing to even consider the idea of marriage and kids, these enemies to lovers are stuck on an impasse. Until Lucian learns the hard way that leaving Sloane is impossible. The very least he can do is to keep her safe. Okay. Our next romance is The Long Game by Elena Armas. This one, well, it follows the same as most romances and stuff. I don't know. It's got a logic gap there for me. That's all. I mean, hopefully it's explained. I'm going to go with it. It's probably not, though. But the description. Adalyn Reyes has spent years perfecting her daily routine. Wake up at dawn, drive to the Miami Flames FC offices, try her hardest to leave a mark, go home, and repeat. But her routine is disrupted when a video of her altercation with the team's mascot goes viral. Rather than fire her, the team's owner, who is also her father, sends Adalyn to the middle of nowhere, North Carolina, where she's tasked with turning around the struggling local soccer team, the Green Warriors, as a way to redeem herself. Her plans crumble upon discovering that the players wear tutus to practice, impractical, keep pet goats, messy, and are terrified of Adalyn's counterproductive, they are 9-year-olds. To make things worse, also in town is a Cameron Caldani, the goalkeeper prodigy whose presence is somewhat a mystery. Cam is the perfect candidate to help Adeline, but after a very unfortunate first encounter involving a rooster, Cam's leg and Adeline's bumper, he's also set on running her out of town. But banishment is not an option for Adeline, not again. Helping this ragtag children's team is her road to redemption, and she is playing the long game with or without Cam's help. Okay, now we move into mystery though. The first one's going to be a historical mystery. This one is The River We Remember by William Kent Kroeber. Okay, it's 1958, on Memorial Day, as the people of Jewell, Minnesota gather to remember and honor the sacrifice of so many sons in the wars of the past. The half-clothed body of a wealthy landowner, Jimmy Quinn, is found floating in the Alabaster River, dead from a shotgun blast. Investigation of the murder follows to Sheriff Brody Dern. Yes. A highly decorated war hero who still carries the physical and emotional scars from his military service. Even before Dern has the results of the autopsy, vicious rumors begin to circulate that the killer must be Noah Bluestone, Native American World War II veteran who has recently returned to Jewell with a Japanese wife. As suspicions and accusations mount, and the small town teeters on the edge of more violence, Dern struggles not only to find the truth of Quinn's murder, but also put to rest the demons from his own past. Next is a cozy paranormal mystery, which this is only book 2 in the series, so that one's at points, as there's so many that are like in the 20s or teens at least, or some of them even 30s, which that's awesome that the series keeps going that way. You know, if you do like it, there's so many. But it also makes it daunting to try to get into it because they're like, oh my goodness, there's so much. I don't know. This one though is early in, so hopefully if it's a good cozy, then we can start at the beginning and work up into things like the bigger ones. And I think I keep turning myself. This is bad. But getting off topic, rambling. Death by a Thousand Sips by Gretchen Rue, though, is book 2 after Steeped in Death. Steeped in Death follows Phoebe Winchester's beloved Aunt Eudora has a taste for adventure and a knack for making magical tea. It's even rumored that she just might be a witch. So when Eudora passes away and leaves everything to her niece, her Victorian mansion, her bookshop/tea store, the Earl's Study, and one very chubby orange cat named Bob, Phoebe gets more than she bargained for, and she knows she's in deep when a dead man is found on the shop's back step, apparently killed while trying to break in. 2 suspects immediately emerge among the townspeople of Raven Creek, Washington. There's village busybody, Deidre Miller, who seems desperate to buy Eudora's house, and handsome P.I. Rich, one of Phoebe's childhood friends, but how well does she know him after all these years apart? Phoebe knows she should leave it to the professionals, but as she starts to dig into the underbelly of Raven Creek, she begins to uncover the truth about Eudora. What's more, her aunt might not have been the only witch in the family, as Phoebe soon discovers she has unique and unexpected gifts of her own. So see, it sounds cute. It sounds potentially. I don't know. I haven't read as many cozy mysteries as I would like. Then our thriller of the week is Holly by Stephen King. This one I did think was coming out later in the month, but no. It says fan favorite character of King himself, Holly Gibney is back, and now she's the main character in her own feature story. Matched up against 2 Moriarty-esque professors, she has to continue to grow as a detective as she has in all other appearances. So this one, a character who has been seen in other novels, is being given her own main character treatment. I'm not really going to read too much about it because she is from other novels, like several of them. But yeah, I do believe a lot of people are excited for him to do this and get her own story. And then this one, I had to mention it because it's kind of funny. It's a movie tie-in sort of fiction. It's Look Out for the Little Guy by Scott Lang. Yes, the book from Ant-Man 3 that he had written. It's going to be actually published. And it's not so much the description of this one that I'm going to read. It's the ratings that the book had, that obviously the publishers had put in actual ratings onto the website. It's so funny. Like the first one is Ant Enthusiast 69 from Hell's Kitchen. It rates it 5 stars. Oh, by the way, they pretty much all rated it 5 stars of the fake ones. They said, a heartwarming story. I absolutely moved by this book. The idea of having opportunity to see life through an adventure is amazing. Scott Lang has a deep understanding of problems that we as citizens go through, especially when he goes into the struggles of the blip. It keeps going. The next one is from Tony Stank. 5 stars, must read. You never know a man till you've read his book, and this memoir is no exception. Reading about Spider-Man's life from a first-hand account is truly an adventure. Scott Lang's Cousin. Changed my life. 5 stars. This book changed my life, literally. I couldn't put the book down after picking up the first time. It's really insightful to see an Avenger being so open and honest. Very refreshing. I can't wait for the sequel. I thought I would share that because that's just funny. The camera went to turn off without making a noise so I would know, but we're down to the last 2 books. So our next fiction is going to be Not Forever, But For Now by Chuck Palahniuk. Meet Otto and Cecil, 2 brothers growing up privileged in the Welsh countryside. They enjoy watching nature shows, playing with their pet pony, impersonating their grandfather, and killing the help. Murder, though, is the family business. Downton Abbey, this is not. However, it is not so easy to continue the family legacy with their constant stream of threats and distractions seemingly leaping from the hedgerow. First, there's the matter of the veritable cavalcade of escaped convicts that keep showing up on their door. Not to mention the debaucherous new tutor who is a penchant for speaking in Greek and dismembering dolls. And then there's Mummy's begrudging opioid addiction, and who knows where Daddy is. He just vanished one day after he and Mummy took a walk in the so-called ghost forest. I don't know, it's fiction, but it says it tackles societal themes like excessive wealth and class divides. And our last book of the week is Main Character Energy by Jamie Varon. This one follows Poppy Banks, who would rather be writing mysteries than writing listicles for her dead-end job at ThoughtBuzz. But after a series of rejections, she's ready to accept life on the sidelines as a plus-size woman. But her Aunt Margaret is the one person unwilling to give up on her niece's dream and tells her so at their secret yearly luncheons. But all of Poppy's beliefs about herself are about to be changed when her beloved aunt dies and leaves her niece a grand surprise, a trip to her villa in the French Riviera. There, she learns her aunt intends to leave her the stunning villa and secretive writer's residency to Poppy, if she can finish her novel in 6 months. When the writing countdown begins, Poppy realizes she has more to confront than her writer's block. Family drama, complicated romances, and self-doubt all threaten to throw her off course. In this fun and heartwarming debut, Poppy must decide if she can live up to her aunt's and her own desire to be the main character of her own story. Okay, that is all the books I have for you this week. Please let me know if it worked better to be here in the office, or if it was weirder. I'm afraid with the traffic that there's going to be a lot of weird cuts, and that maybe I'm going to have to wake up like even earlier to film in here when there's not traffic. Like, why is there so much traffic at 9 a.m. on a Saturday, though? That's what I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on. It seems more than normal. I come film in here, and of course there'd be more traffic, is what it seems like. Oh, don't bump the camera. Don't shake the desk. Okay, just let me know, though. Let me know in the comments which way we like better, or I might keep brainstorming, working through this, trying to find a better thing to do, to where more eye contact with the camera and the audience, right? I hope you found something awesome on this list, though, that you want to add to your TBR or a series to try. I do want to try maybe some of these somehow. Eventually. This is the problem. There's always the eventually with the TBR, right? If you're new here, though, thank you for sticking around to the end, and I hope you did find something, and you might want to go check out one of my other videos, like the September TBR, one of the unboxings, and we'll consider subscribing to come back for every Monday's new releases, and also the reviews that we have later this month. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you're finding something awesome to read today, and I'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.